Good morning, children. Here I am once again with a new series, Series 3 for Science 2, Standard 10, Chapter 1. Children, last time we had finished with the upper half of page 5. We had stopped at vestigial organs and what are vestigial organs? Today we will see the next kind of evidence, and that is paleontological evidence. What is paleontological evidence? Paleontological evidence arises from the discoveries which the archaeologists and scientists have done. When a natural calamity occurs, like say flood, earthquake, volcano, etc., impressions of the organisms, impressions matlab chhap, the prints of the organisms which are dead and buried underneath the earth, they regularly come up when such disasters occur, and they are called as fossils. Study of fossils is very important for us to determine whether a living organism existed in a particular point or no. Even during the excavation of Mohenjo-daro, evidence of life was found and the kind of lifestyle they lived was found. Similarly, when we discover fossils, as you can see the pictures in these particular regions, you will find that the impressions of the dead organisms are found. That is how the discovery of the dinosaurs was made. That is how it was discovered that life began first in water. This study is called as study of fossils. Let's move on to page number 6. Page number 6 shows you a structure of ground level fossils. Now this is how the discovery actually happened. When we were digging deep into the ground, at that point of time on the top they found the impressions of mammals and birds. Then as they dug little deeper, they found the evidence of reptiles. When they went more inside, they found evidence of amphibia and pisces, and finally invertebrates like starfish and snail which were found in water. This evidence gives us two proofs. One, that there are creatures which were found on water existed earlier on because they were further down. जो पहले आया होगा, that must have been buried deep inside, right? And later on it was also discovered that the hierarchy of discovery, like invertebrates came on the earth first, which were then followed by vertebrates, and finally the upper class animals called as the mammals, about which we will study in chapter 6. Now they have talked to you about another component, and that is carbon dating. What is carbon dating? Carbon, my dear children, exists in the form of that which has 6 protons and 6 neutrons, and that is why carbon is called as carbon 12. Sometimes, however, in the atmosphere, due to certain changes, nitrogen gives away 2 of its neutrons to carbon, making a particular kind of carbon which has 6 protons but 8 neutrons. Therefore, that is called as carbon 14. Both these carbons are very similar in their function and they exist in our body. Once an organism dies, this carbon 14, which was formed because of certain changes, is highly unstable and it starts decaying. That is, it starts getting converted into carbon 14 to carbon 12. When it goes on to become carbon 12, there is a change in the ratio of the carbon 12 which was present in the organism when it was alive. If you take a ratio of carbon 14 to carbon 12 that is present in living and dead organisms, with a comparative study, you will be able to understand how long ago this particular creature has been dead. Carbon 14 and carbon 12 comparison ratio is also called as carbon dating. It is used to find the age of human fossils and manuscripts. Just similar to the way in which when you see a tree, you can count its rings and find its age. Introduction to scientists. Carbon dating was a method based on radioactive decay of carbon-14. What do you mean by radioactive decay? The bigger atom, which has 8 neutrons and 6 protons, will go on to form 6 protons and 6 neutrons, which is actually how originally carbon is found. This was discovered by Willard Libby, and he won the Nobel Prize in 1960 for this. It was published in the journal Radiocarbon. Moving on, before I move on, let me quickly show you how the fossil fuels and the impressions appear. What is carbon dating? Comparison of isotopes of carbon and same number of protons but different number of neutrons, as I explained it to you earlier. This is how carbon dating works. Absorbs the carbon. It is consumed by the turkey. Later on, when the turkey dies, it is disintegrated. From the bones you can find out. Children, let us now move on to the next part, and that is another evidence. So far, as you are aware, we saw paleontological evidence, vestigial organ evidence, morphological evidence, and anatomical evidence. Let us now move on to the next kind of evidence, and that is connecting links. Now, what do you mean by connecting links? Is like a little bit of jasusi काम that you do. A detective looks at that, okay, there's a cup, there are 2 cups of tea over here, means before the murder took place, 2 people drank tea. On one cup there is the fingerprint of the dead person, so on the other cup there may be a fingerprint of the murderer. So they're connecting things and they're forming a link. Likewise, we also form a connection and we form a link. Before we go into that, let us try and understand next page, page number 6. Some of the plants and animals will show certain connections. For example, there is the peripatus, which is the connecting link between Annelida and Arthropoda. What is Annelida and Arthropoda? They are phyla. Phyla is characteristics of certain animals which belong to the same phyla, like family. So phyla Annelida and phyla Arthropoda. Arthropoda is like cockroach, which will have lot many legs. Annelida is like earthworm, which will have lot many segmentation. Duck-billed platypus has a connection between reptiles and mammals because it has mammary glands to feed its young ones, like the mammals have. Mammals are things like human beings, the whale, us, bat, cows, dogs, etc. And reptiles like snakes, because this duck-billed platypus, mammals ka speciality is we give birth to young ones just like us. But what about reptiles? They lay eggs, oviparous, viviparous, you have done in a lower grade. So the duck-billed platypus is a combination, they say is a connecting link because it shows features of both. And also there is finally the lungfish, which is a connection between Pisces and amphibians. Amphibians are those animals which can live on land as well as water, and Pisces means those which live in water, for example fish. So this lungfish is supposed to be an example, and it is also a combination of mammals because it has lungs. So in other words, these are those which have evolved between reptiles. And let us take a look at these creatures. Here they are. Peripatus, if you can see, it has got many feet like the cockroach, but at the same time it has got segmentation like the earthworm, which is Annelida and Arthropoda. Lungfish lives in the sea, but it breathes through lungs. Normally fishes breathe through their gills. So this breathes through its lungs, and in the lungs is the organ which with the mammals breathe. And of course there is the duck-billed platypus. And of course there's the duck-billed platypus. The duck-billed platypus lays eggs like reptiles, but at the same time it has mammary glands which can feed its young ones. So that was, children, about the long and short of, very important from the examination point of view. We now come to the last part, We are on page number 6. I will be completing only half of it. We come to the last evidence, and that is called as embryological evidence. If you look at the picture here, children, you will find that there is a embryo of fish in the initial stages, then the second stages and the third stage, likewise of the salamander, tortoise. Top to bottom, if you go, you will find the human also. Take a close look. The pig and the man. The embryo stage is almost similar. It's very difficult for us to identify at the embryo stage, except for the tail. Very much similar. What does it tell us? That ultimately all forms have evolved from one to another. Initial stages similarities exist between all stages. I hope this lesson is understood till here. We will continue further in the next and final series for chapter 1. Till I see you again, good day, stay home, stay safe.